And it is time to lawyer up with attorney Will McKinley from the Men Law Firm. Good morning.
Serious minds with hearts that care. Men Law Firm. Exceptional results are waiting there. menlaw.com takes you there.
What do you think of that new little jingle?
I like it. It's very yacht rocky.
Yeah, that's
and that was the request.
Yes, it was.
That was the request. I wanted something a little yacht rocky for the Men Law Firm. I think that delivers.
You got it thanks to the AI Studio Band.
It's awesome. I feel really bad for the jingle singers out there.
Yeah.
You know, AI is totally putting the jingle singers completely out of business.
That was like one of the jobs. That
what is the
had.
Diamonds and Gold lady going to do? She's screwed. The lady that sings that jingle, it's going to dry up.
Probably not.
You don't think so?
Look, they've made so much money off that jingle already.
Look, that one. Some of them stay forever.
Yeah,
some
but
of them stay
I'm just saying. But I was impressed. You sent like a variety of them. It was good stuff. But yeah, we got to figure that out. We got to figure out how to incorporate that into the Men Law traffic. Maybe we should do a Men Law jingle traffic with like horns honking and. Like,
listen, you're just giving me more work to
something.
do.
That's actually a great idea, though.
For no additional money.
Exactly.
For
what are we doing
absolutely
here?
no money.
This is not working out well for you at all.
Technically, that is the radio industry. All right, let's get to the stories on the docket. Amazon is being sued because it calls some digital movie rentals on Prime Video purchases, which confuses the customer.
Yeah. So I haven't read the story because you sent me a paragraph. It was
so people renting the
uneventful.
movies don't actually own them permanently, right? You're renting them.
Yeah.
But the labeling of a purchase makes it seem like the customer is now going to own this.
So here's my understanding, because we use Prime. We do videos, the vidges. So my understanding is we either rent them for a period of time. You get it for, like, once you play it, you get 48 hours to, like, watch it.
To watch the whole thing. Yeah,
exactly. So that drives me nuts.
It's the button that's on the left of the screen, not the one on the right.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So then you purchase it, or no, you buy. I don't think it says, or does it say purchase? I don't know.
It says buy it now.
Buy it now. Buy it.
Apparently some do say purchases. Yes.
Well, no, but the purchases is a separate section. Like, I think because you can go back into your, like, archive.
Oh, yes,
and
that's exactly what
that's
it
where
is.
That's where I always find the Hallmark Christmas movies that I, like, bought, like, 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
I go into the purchases, and I go way back, and then I find them. But what is a purchase?
Ooh. Well, that depends on what the definition of is.
Well, no. I mean, a purchase is an exchange of money for services or goods. Well, if you're renting something, are you not purchasing it? You're exchanging money for services or goods.
What is a service, yeah?
So to me, the whole thing, you're not renting or buying anything here. What you're doing is you're licensing. And it's a simple question of what is the length of the license you have to access the video. 48 hours or as long as, because once you end your Prime subscription, you don't get to, like, keep the videos that you bought. You lose access to those videos as well.
Yeah.
Right? So you're not even buying it when you buy it.
No, it's just another way
Title
that
to
you will know
the
you'll own
video does
nothing.
not exchange to you perpetually.
Yeah, you'll own nothing.
It's a
and be
limited
happy.
license.
So should Amazon just have a license now button?
It should just be, yeah. Oh, they come up with something cleverer than that.
You know, but I mean,
You think they would?
Jeff Bezos that guy's a mastermind. He'd come up with, it'd be like license, I don't know what it would be.
the lawsuit claims it's misleading and breaks consumer protection laws.
No, I don't disagree. I mean, I think it is misleading because when one hears purchase, they think, okay, I get it. I get access to it whenever I want, however long I want.
Yeah.
Understanding that you still have to be a Prime member.
How very 1998.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, when I go to Blockbuster, I don't get to keep it forever.
That's right.
I have to be kind and rewind, or I get fined. Ooh, that was good rhyming right there.
That's right.
That would have gone really hard back in 1998.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I think the case has legs, but again, I think the reality is no matter how you slice it, you're not buying it.
Right.
You don't own it. You are licensing it for a period of time. Depending on how much you pay, will dictate what that period of time is.
Okay.
Interesting.
I always buy. I always buy because it's like $3.99 to rent or $4.99 to buy, and I'm always like to the kids, I'm like, just buy it. Like, why am I going to for an extra dollar?
For an extra dollar, I bet
it.
I get to watch it twice.
Because otherwise, we watch the same movie like 9 times, and I've paid that much, whatever, $80 to see, Homeward Bound 2 or whatever it is. So
Kids, your dad's the president of a law firm.
That's right. We can afford the extra dollar.
Kids, I'm flush with cash.
That's right.
I got jingles coming out of my ears.
Literally. All of my orify.
Next headline on the docket from the New York Post. Michigan couple held in Mexican prison for a month over a timeshare dispute. Claims resort weaponized criminal justice system.
So timeshares, generally speaking, always have a very naughty word, right? Anytime you think of timeshare, you think shady dealings,
massive scams,
being locked into a room where you have to drink bad coffee to listen to the pitch so you get the 2 tickets to the show in Vegas, those types of things.
You think, how can I get out of it?
These people have the ultimate horrible timeshare experience. Their name is Paul and Christy Accio. They're from Michigan. They are engaged in some pretty significant dispute with a company called Palace Resorts. Now, Palace Resorts operates a timeshare, a kind of a luxury high-end timeshare in Mexico. And the Accios purchased a couple of timeshare units in Mexico with the intention of basically buying it but then flipping them, meaning you get it but then you lease it out, like an Airbnb. I mean, that happens all the time. People have a timeshare and then they Airbnb it out to other people. So you go to the Dells or places that's all the time. So what ends up happening is, though, they have this arrangement where the resort, like they have a good deal. This is like a business transaction, not just mom and pa coming and, buying a timeshare. Well, the deal sours. The resort basically starts to interfere with their ability to, lease these timeshares out to other people. So what ends up happening is the Accios stop paying certain fees because they're saying the resort's now reneging on the deal they had. So they were disputing credit card charges that were just automatically happening to their credit cards to the tune of $116,000. That's a lot of timeshare fees. When I think timeshares, I think like $3,000 a year.
Right.
But apparently I go to crappy timeshares. So
that's how you can afford to buy on Amazon.
Exactly, the extra dollar.
Right.
So they dispute the charge with Visa or whoever, and Visa accepts the dispute and basically, cancels those charges, refunds the money, which of course the resort says, whoa, you just screwed us out of $116. So they're in Mexico. The resort files a criminal complaint with the Mexican authorities, basically saying this was fraud, that the challenging of the credit card charges was knowingly fraudulent and was basically just done to try to get out of payments that were otherwise owed. This would be a contract dispute, but they took it one step further. So when these people are heading down to Mexico to visit their timeshare, to actually go use it, they get arrested by the Mexican authorities and are thrown in jail. They spend 30 days in a Mexican jail with
that doesn't sound
drug
like
dealers and like gangbangers,
whatever
and
else,
guys who
God
murder
knows.
people.
Imagine a Mexican jail, right? That's what these people were put into for 30 days. Couldn't communicate with a lawyer, couldn't communicate with the family other than a 90-second phone call. The wife has a fish allergy, and I guess all they feed you in a Mexican jail is fish, which would be my living hell.
Or they just found out she had a fish
And
allergy.
they're saying, all right, here's some tuna,
She got
sweetheart.
it all.
Yeah, have some halibut. She lost 25 pounds because of the ordeal. So Trump, I guess, actually found out about it. He intervened, sent a U.S. congressman down. They ended up, the Mexican authorities said, we'll release you, but you have to sign a settlement agreement with the resort. And according to the lawsuit, they signed this settlement agreement that said they have to pay the money, they have to take down this Facebook page where they were trash talking the resort, and they can't talk about it. So an NDA.
Sure.
And they signed it in a room with 2 armed guards with machine guns.
So it was voluntary.
Yeah, that's right.
They signed it because they're I want to get the hell out of the Mexican jail and get out of Mexico. They sign it, they come back to the States, and now they filed a federal lawsuit against the resort. Well, the resort's saying, whoa, we settled this. we settled this case. And of course, their argument is, well, yeah, no, we didn't.
with dudes that had guns
It's called
trained on 'em.
duress.
Yeah, right.
It's called duress,
Good
which is a
word.
defense to a contract, gets you out of a contract. That's the word of the day. And so they're saying in federal court that of course, they're suing them for damages because they basically just weaponized the Mexican system to punish them in what is otherwise a contract dispute, which should have
Right.
just been handled in a civil matter, and then force them to sign this contract, this settlement agreement, which requires them to arbitrate their dispute in Canada.
Well, that is I
So
suppose that's a
now
good
they have to go to
arbiter.
Canada. At least it doesn't require them to come back to Mexico, because I'm
Right.
pretty sure they're never setting foot back in that country
I
again.
certainly wouldn't.
But
Wow.
word to the wise, for those of you, I hear all these people all the time, they talk about, oh, we go to Mexico and we have like a timeshare, like Riviera Maya or Cancun or some of these
Beautiful
other
place
places.
of the earth, by the way.
If you have a
One of the most
timeshare in Mexico and you try to play games, be wary because they don't mess around. It's not just you lose your pool privileges. You could end up in a Mexican jail.
The woman was housed in a cell with a toilet that didn't flush for 2 weeks.
That just sounds like a timeshare.
The guy's first night behind bars, he was kept with 35 other men. The guards pepper sprayed the fan in Paul's room to calm down the agitated prisoner.
They have a weird way of calming down prisoners in
I like
Mexico.
Shoot the pepper spray into the fan and let it disperse.
Let it oscillate, folks.
That's right. Wow.
Man, that sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never owned a timeshare, nor would I ever. But that just convinces me. I'm not going to get into the timeshare game.
Our thanks to the Men Law Firm for loaning Will to us this morning. You can find out more about Will's practice by going to menlaw.com. That's men with two N's, menlaw.com.
Serious minds with hearts that care. Exceptional results, so bring there. Menlaw.com takes you there.
It's version 2.
That's great.
Thank you, sir. Have a great weekend.
Good weekend.